Welcome into Capper's Cave. I'm your host, Lorenzo de Costa. This is free picks and shit on Capper's Cave, brought to you by Intellect Sports. We got NFL Week 16. Damn. It's College Bowl week. Best bets. We're going to give you our best bets from the bowl games up until next Thursday, I believe. Yeah, next Thursday. And then we'll put the remaining games on next week's show. So everything else, we have a few. I think we got maybe 8 or 9. I don't know. But we got here, the one, the only, decided to come this week on Christmas week. Locksmith Larry, or Larry the Locksmith, whichever you prefer. How we doing? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing really good. Well, it's good. It's Christmas Eve. I hope you're in another jolly mood. Yeah, man. You know, got all my shopping done and shit, man. I'm ready to go. Man, you know, it's old Santa Claus week, man. You know, lots of action, man. Need to win some bets, so, man, so my kids can have a good Christmas. Yeah, well, I hope that's not the case. Nah, man, I'm just yanking your chain, man. I'm happy as a pig and poop, man. Well, good. Glad you made it this week. You should be happy, as well as our audience. You picked up the only win last week. Now on a 3-game streak, aren't you? You know what? You are. Man, I'm hotter than hell in half of Georgia, man. You know, and speaking of Georgia, man, I'm hotter than freaking Georgia asphalt, man. That's what they say. I bet you they do down there. I bet you guys got a bunch of sayings that go to Georgia, don't you? I bet. But we got a good show, 8, 9 picks. Maybe some analysis just on a few, and hopefully better than last week. A bad week, good month though, but it's a process. It's a process of control. You know, control your uncontrollable bias, which we did last week with Buffalo. I'm sorry, listeners, I am, but I couldn't be more happy with the level of play of Buffalo right now. I watch them closely every week, and they're hot. Hotter than my expectations. And my betting expectations, obviously. But maybe this is a letdown game this week after winning the AFC East for the first time since 95. I mean, but let's get back to decision-making, right, with bets. There's this, there's like a biased decision-making, based on our biases that we don't even know. It's the ones that we don't even know. Because we always want to be correct with anything. But you have to be objective. Always look at the bet both ways. It's so easy to look at a game on the board, see the spread, and say, oh, that's easy. Pittsburgh, -14. Make your bet. Or worse, you see it, like it, but your research becomes biased and only one-sided. You constantly start looking at that one side. Be objective. Everyone's a suspect. Be a freaking detective. Right? Be a detective. Because you have to. Everyone's a suspect. Thanks, Dick Tracy, man. Yeah, did you just say that? Sorry, man, but I do agree. It's tough when you look at a game at first glance, man, and you need to kind of erase it from your memory for like a minute, man, or so. Well, yes, but the memory serves us well when we talk about handicapping. That's why, well, man, that's why, I said that just for a minute. Okay, moving on. We got let's get into some college football news, just some quick stuff in NFL, and then we'll get into our picks. There were some good games, obviously good games this week and for the rest of the year. Some whack games. I mean, teams are struggling right now to get into bowl games. Apparently, you can get into one with just a couple wins. But should we be surprised in the year of COVID? No. But it may help with some of our plays. It just may. Listen, a lot of controversy with this whole college football playoff. The Buckeyes, Notre Dame. Yeah, maybe neither of them don't belong there, but money talks. And I'm sure the NCAA lost Lost a lot this year and need to make up for it. I mean, you don't want an A&M rematch with Bama. Nobody wants to see that. Which Bama smoked them. I mean, since he doesn't bring the dough, I mean, this was the safest play, I think, for the committee. And if you noticed, it didn't take that long of a time, right? They were done. They were like, the minute it came out, we're done. We got it. Either way, there should be some blowouts this year, as there is every year. No plays yet. But again, we'll have those on next week's show. So listen in. We'll have some good ones for you. This year, if it has shown us anything, well, I think they're going to put a lot more teams in next year. Peeps want it. Committee wants it. League wants it. I mean, just do it. Just do it for once. Just do it.
Come on, do it. Lay it out right here. Do it.
I mean, we have to. Then you can put in those Cincy teams. There's probably more money involved. I don't know the logistics and all that good stuff, but I can assure you, you're going to get a lot of people watching when you get, back in the day when it was UCF winning all those games. We would have liked them to compete for it. Why not? Cincinnati this year. But again, we'll move on. Let's not talk about it too long. Moving up, NFL. Steelers football. Is there a football team there in Pittsburgh? I'm not sure. I don't know if they have an NFL team there. I don't know. Just wow. Doesn't look like a good team at all. Should we be surprised though? They had a weak schedule. Can't run the ball. Now Big Ben looking his age. I mean, the D is really just holding them together, but they're falling apart too, and they haven't looked that good. This is the opposite of Steeler football. Right? Excuse me. They're playing average during the season and then turn it on at night, towards the end of the season with good run, Big Ben scrambling, and a stout D. But none of that's looked good against this below-average Cincy team with a backup QB. They're done. No, the first round, they're out. But, you always got to be worried about them. You always, you never know what they can bring when they come to the playoffs. They bring a lot of experience, but we shall see. Saints lose with Breeze. Tough game back, but this is probably a good thing for them. Gain a little momentum, get a little bit of experience back after the injury. We may have a play here with the Saints. Maybe against them, maybe for them. We'll see. Jets. I know that's been all over the fucking news, but oh my God, can you really believe these guys? The Jets they can't win for winning, can they? Really? They're so stupid. Just another mistake by this organization. But that shit is hard to control. I mean, think about it. When you're on the field, right? But it's harder to control for the players because they're fighting for their jobs and all that good stuff, career, yeah. But as an OC and a defensive coordinator, you can manipulate plays. I mean, if your boss says so. And I can't imagine there wasn't a conversation there, right? Like just run the ball a lot, please. Or play some soft defense. Why don't you guys let some other guys play? Let's see what they have. This is how you tank. But again, it doesn't always work. It's not perfect. It's not perfect by any means because of the level of play on field, turnovers, etc. But again, we might have a play here with these two teams looking for the number one pick, Jacksonville and the Jets. New England finally eliminated from the playoffs. I mean, how many years has it been? Yeah, man, I think it's like one or two times they missed it in the last 19 or so season, man. Only a couple times. Yeah, I know 2008, which was a Brady, I believe, injury here. I mean, this year has been bad. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. Getting better. Right? I mean, it's nice. I mean, just for the end of the year, things are brighter, We don't have New England in the playoffs. This is a strange year. Now let's talk about Tom Brady and the Bucs. I mean, he's proven to the Pats that the Pats do need him, but I think that was one thing he did want to prove this year. Whether he says it or not, everybody knows that. But can we say the Bucs are that good? I mean, he didn't go there to take his good old time and win many Super Bowls. It's now or never there. And they just don't look like it. Down by the Falcons most of the game, just winning. That's not going to cut it in the playoffs. That D is supposed to be awesome, but not so much. And they just don't got it. I just can't define them right now. I can't define them. I don't think they know who they are. Playoffs, out, first round. Ben, Brady, out, first round. Slow movie. Watch out for this team. Watch out for this team. I'd be really the quiet river in Indianapolis right now. Be careful with this team. They're staying out of the media radar, winning games. Nothing impressive. Could be a sleeper this year, I think, to make a deep run in January. With that said, without further ado, shall we get to picking? Let's do it. The Crampton Bowl in Montgomery, Alabama. This one is Friday. Christmas game for us. Marshall. Thundering Herd at the Buffalo Bulls. Buffalo Bulls -3, over-under sitting at 53.5. Both these teams off a loss of the conference championship game, right? Marshall comes off a loss of the Conference USA Championship against UAB Blazers, 22-13. And Buffalo off a loss to Ball State, 28-38, mainly due to their lead back, Patterson. He was out and he'll return for this matchup, which is a huge deal. These Bulls, man, they have an explosive offense, especially when they get Jarrett back, Patterson, sorry. And they got this Kevin Marks guy. He's pretty good, but not as good as Patterson. And don't forget about this wide receiver, Antonio Nunn. Put up 182 yards in his recent game. Listen, the Herd's going to stack the box here. They're going to expect the run. But this Kyle, quarterback, he's sneaky good. He made up for the poorest run game last. Went 22 for 42, 365 yards and a TD. 63 completion rating. He's got a 7-2 TD ratio on the season. Not that bad year. I mean, with how dominant the run has been. Number one in college football in rushing yards per game. Number 3 in points scored. Number 10 in total yards. And number 90 in the pass, which is not too shabby. Now, on the other hand, Marshall, they do have a good D. But let's look at the level of competition they've had to play this year. Best offense, if you look through it, App State. Look at the top of their division. UAB, UTSA, FAU. Really? It's not the cream of the crop here. I mean, if we're comparing divisions just right off the bat, the MAC definitely takes it. With teams and with talent. I mean, this is going to be their D's toughest test going up against the best run game in the league. And they're going to be completely outmatched. The O for the Herd is average at best. But again, their numbers are against subpar, low to low par teams. This Grant Wells, freshman QB, I might add, last game struggled to find any consistency. He connected for 8 of 23, 138 yards. He has 9 interceptions in 9 games. Buffalo, 11-3 ATS in their last 14 games, 4-0 in their after a straight-up loss. Marshall, 0-5 in their last 5 games following a straight-up win. Marshall, 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games. Take the points, or I shall say, eat the small points with the Buffalo Bulls. Next up on the slate, Saturday, the 26th, 12 p.m., the Gasparilla Bowl. What is that? Gasparilla Bowl? Gasparilla Bowl? Gorilla? What is that? Thanks for that. Thanks, Larry. I think I said it right. Anyway, South Carolina Gamecocks at UAB Blazers. UAB sitting at -7, over under at 48. Is this even a fucking bowl game? South Carolina had 2 wins. Have you ever seen this before? An SEC team getting a full TD against a Conference USA team. Something's up here. Something up. Strange, but it goes with the year. South Carolina has been... Have they just given up at this point? Do they even want to play this game? They can't feel privileged at all. Players dropping out. There's no motivation. Coming off 6 straight losses. 0-6 ATS in their last 6. They average like 16 points a game their last 5. They haven't even played since the 5th of December. done. Just done. I can't side with a team like that. Now UAB, winners of Conference USA, get a bowl against an SEC team. Rather motivating, I might add. Won the last 2 games, and one prior to that was away and went to OT. Listen, they're a very competitive team on the road. This is not a full confidence pick on the board, I might add, too. Just want to mention, this is strange. It sounds like the odd makers are trying to get buys on South Carolina right now. Now, on the broad angle for most gamblers, they're going to jump on the SEC team. So this may lower. You might want to wait. UAB. So don't lock it up right yet. Let's get on to our next one, the Cure Bowl. Don't hit that fucking button again. Saturday, the 26th, 7:30. The Liberty Flames at Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina, -7, over-under sitting at 59. Another analysis here, okay? This is the game of the fucking year. Put them in the playoffs. Actually, both these teams over Notre Dame and Ohio State. I love it. Making us dough each year, all year. 8-2 ATS for both of them on the season. And we won both bets against Coastal on their losses. We've pretty much dominated. We've loved it, but yet we don't seem to have a play here. I think it's a nice tease. But I think it's a tough spot for both. Liberty hasn't played since fucking Thanksgiving. Coastal Carolina, they're wanting to finish perfect, which is tough to do. There's a lot on the line here. 2 great coaches, teams. Should be a fun one to watch, though. Without further ado, though, let's get to the Cotton Bowl. Probably one of the bigger games on the board. This one's Wednesday. Next Wednesday, the 30th. Gators at Oklahoma Sooners. Sooners getting 3 points. Over-under sitting at 70. All right, right away, let's jump to the under here before it shoots to the fucking moon. Oh, I'm sorry, to the over. Both teams, they have decent over-under numbers. Sorry, I had to check that. We do want the over here, right? Yeah, we do. Okay, yeah. Why would we go under here? Anyways, Florida, 7-4 ATS over on the under. Okies, 5-5. Okay, average. We've talked about this Okie D over the last couple weeks, right? Oklahoma. It's improved. They're playing well, but this isn't the fucking SEC. It's Big 12. And they played games like Kansas, Texas Tech, Baylor. Well, Baylor this year, we should say. Because they're not that great. This will sway the numbers when you look at them, right? It looks a lot different on the field. Gators just put up 46 on Bama, and who we'd all say has much more talent on the D than Oklahoma. Put up 34 on LSU, 44 on Georgia, arguably the best D in the SEC. Both teams rank in the top 12 in scoring. Florida 9th in total yards, 1st in pass yards. Oklahoma 18th in total yards, 12th in passing. And this Rattler guy, he's no joke for the QB for Oklahoma. This should be a fun, fiery game, really, to watch. 2 of the best QBs in the league. Well, not the best, but, top 5. We know lots of talent this year with Trevor, Wilson, BYU, Fields, but these two this should be a good back and forth. The Gators have a horrible defense, no run game, and this plays into our bet. They're going to have to air it out in this game just like they did versus Bama. Over 9-4 in Gators' last 13 bowl games. 7-1 in the last 8 games in December. Over 4-0 was the team versus the winning record. Gators versus the winning team with the winning record. Over 7-2-1 in the Sooners' last 10 games as an underdog. Lock it up. The Cheez-It Bowl. Moving on. This one's next Tuesday, the 29th, 5:30 p.m. Oklahoma State Cowboys at Miami Hurricanes. Hurricanes getting 2.5 points, over under at 58. Listen, these two teams have trended in the opposite direction towards the end of the season. Miami was blown out by 36 points at home against Oklahoma State. Not against Oklahoma State, but Oklahoma State won by 39. But still, I know the Hurricanes are still a very good team. We all know that. They have an explosive offense. They have the best QB in the game, in this game. De'Aaron King, the Houston transfer, he's thrown 22 TDs, 5 interceptions, while adding another 500-plus rushing yards. He's shown the ability to make plays against some very good defenses: Clemson, Carolina, Pittsburgh. The Cowboys have dealt with a ton of injuries this season, especially at the running back. But I think the biggest mismatch here is going to be this Spencer Sanders in the Miami secondary. Sanders has thrown 10 TDs and 8 interceptions. And listen to this. The Cowboys haven't earned consecutive back-to-back wins since defeating Kansas on October 3rd, and that's a gimme. And Iowa State after that. Some added motivation here is the Hurricanes have only won one bowl game in the last 15 years. I imagine this is the first thing the players see on their computers or their playbook. And the first thing they talk about, the coach talks about. This one should be a close one, but we'll side with the better QB to make the plays at the end of the game and pull away. Right? I think so. Lock it up, Larry. Well, it sounds like, you're not going to do a college football pick. Well, how about that? How about that? You're going to give us an NFL? All right. I'm down with that. You're on fire right now, so I'm going to put anything you give me, I'm going to put it on the board. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's move on to the NFL. Minnesota Vikings at New Orleans Saints. Saints -7. Over under 51. This is the Friday. Okay, we got another Christmas game for you. I love the Xmas action. Thanks, Santa. Listen, Vikings. It's probably not what the Saints wanted to find waiting for them under the Christmas tree, right? Then again, it's still the NFL regular season, so perhaps it's not such a bad gift after all, right? Minnesota's been eliminated from the playoffs, I believe. They also eliminated New Orleans from the 2017-2019 NFL playoffs. If you remember those games, pretty whack. Diggs, I think, had 2 spectacular plays at the end, just to, you thought the game was over. This got to be an angry motivator. However, in regular season play, the Saints, they hold a 4-1 advantage over the last 5 meetings since 2010. Sunday's 33-27 loss to their NFC North rival Chicago. They knocked them out. I mean, that's tough to get back up from. Here's the worst news. This Viking defense could not hold this feeble Bears rushing attack. The Chicago's ranked 28th in the league in rushing. And they sliced them up. Sliced and diced. 146 yards, 2 TDs from Montgomery. Now the Vikes got to deal with Breeze, Kamara, and the rest of the 8th best scoring offense in the NFL at 28.3 per game. Listen, the Saints still have business to do sitting at 10-4. Breeze having 1 game under his belt, I think, helps after injury. He should be back to easy breezy. So we like a couple things here, but mainly the over. This is the best total play of the week. I mean, these are 2 teams with strong offenses that rank in the top 6, but with questions on defense. Sorry, top 8. Minnesota's dealing with a cluster of injuries at corner right now, which is not what you want with a matchup with, Mr. Breeze. Listen, the Saints have looked great against mediocre teams, but their defense has struggled to stop high-caliber offenses this year. The Titans and the Niners. I should say the Niners with the QB and the tight end there. And a lot of other players, because they're missing a lot. I think that the game was early on in the season. But either way, they've struggled. Sorry, Kittle. Is that his name? Probably the best tight end in the league. Dalvin Cook, Thielen, they're healthy. They're probably healthier than they've been in weeks. I expect this one to be a back-and-forth shootout. We do like the Saints too, but we haven't had the best record betting with them, whether it be for them or against them. So we're probably not going to put that one on the board. So if I was you, I would bet against them, whatever we would pick. But as far as the over-unders here, we like it. So lock it up, Larry. Over. Vikings. Saints. Over 51. Merry Christmas. Speaking of the Niners take on the Arizona Cardinals Saturday the 26th. Cardinals sitting at -4, over under at 49. Listen, this CJ, what's his last name? Yeah, CJ Benthard. CJ Bent hard? Beat hard? Is it beat hard? It is. He's now at the helm for the Niners. These injuries just keep piling up. I'm really surprised the line is so low here. I think this is an absolute no-brainer. The Cardinals are fighting for their playoff lives and everything to play for. Niners are banged up with a team with nothing to play for. On top of that, they're just not good. The Cards have already beaten the Niners this year in San Francisco with Jimmy G and Kittle. The Niners defense is also decimated. They don't have the horses to stop Murray in this high-flying Cardinals offense. Cards cover all day. Cardinals 4-1 ATS versus the team with a losing record. 49ers are 1-4 in their last 5 games following an ATS loss. 1-4 in the last 5 following a straight-up loss. 1-7 in their last 8 games on fucking grass. Lock it up, Larry. You ready to go with the pick? I know we only got a couple more. You gonna do it? Where are you going? Yeah, man. I think I'm ready, man. Hey, I'm going to the Brownies, man, at the New York Jets, man. Jets getting 9.5 points, man. It's a Sunday game, man. 1 o'clock. Simple is as simple does, man. Did your mama say that? What? No, man. Just let me do my pick, man. Sorry. Please continue. This shit is simple, man. Every man, woman, secretary, owner, coach, concession stand employee wants his team to lose, man. Was there ever a worse feeling in winning last week, man? I can only imagine, man, the locker room in that speech, man. Hey, y'all. Good fucking game, you shit dicks. Bunch of fucking shit dicks we got here, man. This is a complete laydown, man. Open them legs wide, man. What? You know, like when your wife, or gal gives you that look, and like, go ahead and just get it over with, man. And, that's what them Jets gonna do. Yeah. Okay, great analogy. I get it. That's good. Yeah, man, it's like, hey, baby, let me do this, and, I'll be in a better mood. We both win, right, man? These Jets, they laying down, man. Everybody's going to be happy next year. Well, until, week 3 comes along and it's the same old fucking story there, man. But, yeah, I do like it. We'll go back on this game, but the level of the Browns offense right now, and a chance to take the division with another loss from Pittsburgh, I think Baker will have his team ready. And I say Baker because he's a character, which can be motivating for players, pumping them up. It works. And we talk about these biases. We talk about decision-making. They can affect an emotional state of a team heading into a game. And you got to think the emotional state right now of these Jets, it's not symmetrical. Players feel this way. Coaches feel another way. OCs, offensive coordinator says, fuck this game. I want to start planning for Trevor Lawrence or Zach Wilson, who I might add, Zach Wilson looked freakishly good last night, or 2 nights ago. Really showed off his NFL talent. 2 TDs running in the first half. QB, Zach Wilson, BYU, remember that name. But without further ado, yeah, lock it up. I like that. So you're taking the Browns -9, right? Okay. Yeah, man. 9.5, sorry. That's a big one. Next up, we have Chicago Bears at Jacksonville. My ex-man crush. Jacksonville Jaguars getting 7.5 points. All right, so I want to put the game on the board, and I will. But I do want to say this. With these two very similar games, right? I would like to say we should tease these next 2 games. Tease maybe 6 points, right? Maybe get, build up your pocket. Maybe get you some walking around money. Yeah. Get some walking around money. Gator don't play no shit, right? I mean, with the Bears level of play right now, lately, I should say the play from Trubisky, who was shaky at times, but when he's on, he's a gamer. Not big numbers, but just wins. He completed more than 70% of his passes in his last 3 starts. And that comes with 5 TDs and just 1 interception. The Jags, same boat as Jets. Last week's game, they went for under 300 yards in total offense, giving up 40 points, 31 the game before, 27 and 27. Just horrendous on defense. And they owe at this point. I don't even know what to think. I mean, they've been outscored 24-71 in their last 2 games. 24-71. A motivated Bears team with a good to great D at times, I should say, should shut them out. But we'd like to save play here. Shave some points with these two. You get the Bears at -1.5 and the Browns -3.5. Tease it. Tease that shit. Lock it up. Well, if that's it, we got nothing more. We just want to say Merry freaking Christmas to you. Have a good weekend and safe holiday. Make some good bets. Good luck to you. I'm your host, Lorenzo da Costa. This is Free Picks and Shit. And we're out.